Welcome to the talk show about the greatest team in all of Major League Baseball. This is the Cubs Talk Show. So I'm going to start out the very first Cubs Talk Show by talking about all of the non-roster invitees that we have in this spring training. Those players entail, for pitchers, Edward Campusano, Esmalin Caridad, Andrew Cashner, Chad Fox, Ken Kadugura, J.R. Mathis, Rocky Raquet, Brian Schlitter, Matt Smith, Mike Stanton, and Jason Waddell. Our catchers are Wellington Castillo, Steve Clevenger, and Mark Johnson. Now going on to infielders, we have Darwin Barney, Andres Blanco, Corey Koski, Luis Rivas, and Bobby Scales. And heading into the outfield, we have Doug Deeds, Jason Dubois, and So Taguchi. Notable non-roster invitees are Chad Fox, Mike Stanton, Corey Koski, Luis Rivas, Jason Dubois, and So Taguchi. There's not really a lot to talk about so far in this spring training because, well, it's spring training. So this will be a short show compared to the other ones that will happen during the season. Now, we're going to go to what I think our roster and rotation should be. Starting with the number 1 pitcher, Carlos Zambrano. Number 2 pitcher, Rich Harden. 3, Ryan Dempster. 4, Ted Lilly. And number 5 should go between Sean Marshall and Chad Godin. Now, I really don't know how many bullpen spots that we're going to have this year because, well, it varies from team to team. Now, I'm saying that our closer should be Carlos Marmol. But if he doesn't work like he was during the middle of the season last year when he had that rough spot, when he was letting off run after run after run, we have Kevin Gregg behind him, who has had 61 saves in the past 2 seasons. Now, heading on to Gregg, him, Heelman, and Vizcaino are my next 3 pitchers in the rotation, but they are all new acquisitions this year. They are going to try to help us to get into the postseason and to help us stay in the postseason. And it was in that, anyways, back to my order. It was in that order. There was Heelman from the Mets, then Vizcaino from the Rockies. After that, it's Neil Kotz, and then Kevin Hart. And after that, it's really a crapshoot to who's going to get what might be the last spot, depending on how many bullpen spots we have, unless we sign one of our non-roster invitees. Because, to be honest, all of our non-roster invitees and all of our minor leaguers have either no major league experience or have done poorly in the experience that they do have. Now, the 3 non-roster invitees that I deem worthy of that spot would be Chad Fox, Matt Smith, or Mike Stanton. Now, Fox is a veteran who's been sketchy as of late, but has found himself useful in the past. He was with us last year, and I believe the year before, and he has a lifetime ERA of 3.60, which is not too bad. Our next option is Matt Smith, who is a 30-year-old, kind of a rookie, who hasn't really been up in the bigs that much, but he does have an ERA of 2.55 in 35 appearances. And that's really all the information that I can find on him. Besides that, he's been with the Yankees and the Phillies in the past, which means he might have a championship ring. Anyways, after that, there's Mike Stanton, who I did not realize that we had signed. And he's the surefire veteran who hasn't been in action full-time since 2007. But I think he would still make a nice addition to our pen because, well, he's always reliable, and he has a lifetime ERA of 3.92, and that is in 1,178 games. And he's only started 1 game during that time. And I don't really know if we're going to use Jeff Samardzija as a reliever or a starter, so I will put him in later. Now we go on to our lineup. And despite all of the controversy over Alfonso Soriano being our leadoff man or not, I believe that he should be our leadoff because he's proven that he can hit there. So I have him batting first in left field. And then I have second Ryan Theriot at short. Third, Derek Lee at first. Fourth, Aramis Ramirez at third. And this is where I could go from with leeway between Milton Bradley at center field at fifth, or Giovanni Soto at catcher in sixth. Those two I could switch around, maybe. And then seventh, I have in right field at Reed Johnson. But with that not being his natural position, that could cause some problems. So if he does not do well there, he could also platoon with Milton Bradley, or we could bring Fukudome and Gathright in to play right. And now on to eighth, where we might have our biggest hindrance at second base, which I would say is between Mike Fontenot and Aaron Miles. Neither are what I would consider a star, obviously, but both could start. And I don't know, either could fulfill the need very well, but I have Fontenot over Miles. And then the pitcher spot, obviously. And now we've come to the end of our show. And you can leave questions, comments, and topics here. Or you can email me at cubstalkshow@gmail.com. You know, I take back what I said about this show being a short one, and ended up being a pretty long one. Well, this is Stephen Kegeman, signing off.